You're now listening to the Sacred Soul Podcast. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode. I'm actually really excited because today we're going to be doing a tarot card reading for the collective. So this is really just for you, advice and guidance that can come forward from spirit that maybe you need to hear. I know that June for a lot of people was kind of a shit fest, at least for me it was. Lots of delays, lots of distractions, lots of disconnection. And I really almost feel like it's giving retrograde energy where we're really being asked to take a step back, to go within, to reconsider our relationships, our belief systems, reconsider everything that allows us to be who we are in terms of how we project our energy out to the world, how people see us, or how we want to be seen. I think a lot of us are really tapping into more authentic versions of ourselves, and that can really be challenging, especially when we are so connected to our familiarity, our comfort. So I just wanted to pull and see what comes through. So if you want to take a nice deep breath, let's do that together. We'll take a nice deep breath. And I just want you to focus in on what you need to hear today. Okay, so let's see what needs to come out for the collective of people that are watching this live. Just go ahead and focus in on your heart, focus in on what you need to hear today, and just be open to receiving that and considering whatever comes through, taking it with a grain of salt. This is a collective, so it's not going to resonate with every single person. But as long as you're open to receiving, Spirit is willing to give that advice and guidance for you. First card out is the Knight of Swords. This is an amazing card, actually. This is a really good card because it talks about being focused, being driven, being really, really in that space of devotion and dedication to your goals, to your craft, to the people and things that you love. It's about prioritizing what it is that we really want. Knight energy is all about action, and the swords is about communication. It's about thought process, mentality, perception, which is really where our power is at. If your perception is trash, everything else around that is going to be trash. That's just how it is, right? So I feel like with the Knight of Swords, Spirit is asking us to be mindful, right? Sword energy. How can we be more mindful about the ways that we are prioritizing certain people, things, and how can we release a little bit more of that resistance so that we can actually just move freely and be led by our inspiration? I feel too, because the Knight of Swords, when I put it down, he's going backwards. I feel like maybe for some of us, we find ourselves being, reminiscing about the past or thinking about our ex-partners, maybe thinking about things that we wish that we could have done differently, holding on to regret or resentments, whatever that feeling is for you. Just simply become aware of it and know that we don't have to travel back to those spaces energetically in order to filter and cleanse it out. All we have to do is be present with where we're at now, what our body is holding on to, and finding solutions with how to heal. Does that make sense? I know you can't answer me, but I hope it makes sense for you. Let's go ahead and pull the next card here. Next card out is the Hierophant reversed. I love the Hierophant reverse coming after the Knight of Swords who's looking back. I think a lot of us are reconsidering our belief systems and the things that we devote ourselves to. Hierophant energy really does represent family structure, religious structure, spiritual sort of morals and ethics and standards and expectations, and feeling like we have to meet everybody's needs. We have to be the perfect son or daughter to our parents, the perfect partner to our lover, the perfect, teacher, or whatever it is that we do. We feel like we have to meet certain expectations. And then sometimes if we're not in that headspace, Knight of Swords looking back, it can be really hard to jump up and touch those things and be in that space of fulfilling that expectation. So I almost feel like with the Hierophant reversed and then the Knight of Swords looking back, I feel like Spirit really wants us to be in this space of being willing to let go of whatever we think we're supposed to be doing and just fucking vibe. Sometimes we forget that we're here for pleasure. We forget that we are literally born into this world so that we can find the greatness in relationships and even in hardship and the experiences that are given to us here to help us evolve and grow. And we get so fucking caught up with needing to be a specific way that we get lost in the sauce a little bit, and it makes us feel like we aren't fulfilled, like we aren't happy, like we aren't connected. Hierophant energy is all about feeling connected. It's all about being in your truth. The Hierophant can sometimes make me feel like it's connected to like the Akashic records, where it's like that space of like really knowing yourself from the inside out. And I feel like for a lot of us, we're rediscovering what that is. We're rediscovering who we are, maybe questioning, you know, your spirituality, questioning, do I really believe in God? Do I really believe in angels? Do I really believe in hell or heaven? Or, you know, whatever structure I've placed around my belief systems that make me feel restricted and restrained. I think for a lot of us, we're running and fleeing, Knight of Swords, from that feeling of restriction. We don't want to be held back. We don't want to be told what to do. We don't want to have rules and boundaries around our cravings and our passions. And that's okay, right? Like, I feel like a lot of us are seeking more freedom around the way that we express ourselves sexually, the way that we express ourselves intuitively. We want that sort of creative and artistic freedom to show up in the world and be able to paint it in the way that we want, and then it be received with that intention. And so a lot of us, I don't know why this popped into my mind, but maybe some of you just got like a butterfly tattoo. That could be like a sign for you, maybe from spirit. I don't know, take it if it resonates. But moving forward, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is like, if you're asking a question or if you're needing to make an important decision, the Wheel of Fortune is like a hell yes card. This is like, you are in this space of like serendipity where it's like, you don't want to miss your mark in terms of like having that sort of passion craving for something. Maybe you want to move, or you want to buy something, or you want to start a new relationship with somebody. You want to say I love you for the first time. Regardless, it's like, or maybe you want to end a relationship. The Wheel of Fortune asks you to choose yourself. It's asking you to take what you know from all of your experiences of the past and use it as a tool for knowledge, for wisdom, for momentum to move forward, and to not feel like you have to be confined to a certain way of living or being. This is all about just existing in your raw. And that is the most powerful thing that we can do. Ace of Wands coming in, passion, drive, motivation, willpower, strength, determination. You have the power now. And I think that moving into July, it definitely feels like June was a test, right? It's a test of, it's almost like a pop quiz. Like June literally said, do you really still believe in this thing? Do you really still love this person? Do you really still have these expectations? And we're kind of like, no, yes, no, right? It's like we're answering all of these questions about ourselves and then saying, this is what I actually want with the Wheel of Fortune. This is where I actually want my life to go in this direction. And now we have the motivation to actually go and fulfill that. So for a lot of us, relationships are ending, friendships are ending, jobs are ending, and new opportunities are coming in and clearing that path. I don't have the Tower card here, but it's giving Tower, but in the best way possible, because the Tower is the freedom seeker. It reestablishes your sense of personal stability and identity. A lot of us are learning how to trust our gut, right? Queen of Cups energy, she's the queen of intuition. She's the queen of trusting herself and not letting herself be sort of bogged down by bullshit. Even, you know, if you look at this card closely, I don't know if you can, but she has her feet in the water. And that can represent emotion, heaviness, you know, bad circumstances, what have you. And she's still kind of like, okay, it can touch me, it can move me, it can transform me, but I'm not gonna let it drown me. She's like, I'm sitting in my queen chair, and I know now, because of all my Wheel of Fortune experiences in life, that I can choose different for myself. So this is all about Ace of Wands being so deeply in your power from this new perspective. Queen of Cups. You're not the Page of Cups, you're not the Knight of Cups, you are the Queen. So act like it, right? Like, let yourself trust so fully that you are making the right choices for yourself, and don't even for a second let that doubt creep in. Maybe doubt does come in because we're human, right? Our brain creates questions. That's what doubt is. It's like, did I make the right choice? And your Queen of Cups energy can say, I made the choice that was best for me. So yes, I did make the right choice. It's all about putting yourself first and letting yourself feel that love and reciprocity from yourself, right? Being connected to the highest version of you. I'm sorry that my voice sounds like this. I think I just talked too damn much all week and I started to lose my voice. So sorry if I sound weird, but let's keep going. Then we have the Hanged Man coming in next. I love the Hanged Man because this is very like higher self. This is very much, excuse me, the willingness to see your life, your circumstances from a higher perspective, from a place of detachment, right? A lot of us are learning how to detach from people, places, things, outcomes, expectations, how we view things, sometimes because a lot of you have a strong vision for your life or a vision of how you see things playing out. That's amazing. We should have vision. We should be able to see that, but we should not be attaching to a specific outcome because you're asking for your feelings to get hurt. And that's just how life is, right? So we have to learn, while I can still uphold my vision and my hope for myself or for this relationship or for this job or this opportunity, I can hope for the best, but I'm still open to allowing the circumstances to unfold for my benefit. No matter what that looks like, take it as an opportunity to learn and to grow. And that's giving Hanged Man energy in the highest form, is that you're okay with letting the tree swing in whatever direction it wants to, letting the branches flow, letting yourself meet people that you never knew you would meet, and letting people transform you, and letting yourself just kind of fall in love with life. That's what the Hanged Man is encouraging all of us to do. It's like just to be here and be present without traveling so far into the future that we kind of get lost in the journey of it, and then we lose some of ourself. Nine of Pentacles coming in reversed. A lot of us need to be more consistent with allowing ourselves to like be present. Hanged Man with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. I think a lot of you have a worthiness wound. I think I do too, so it's okay. Like, we're all in this together, but I feel like a lot of us depend so much on the circumstances, other people, jobs, opportunities to sort of hug us, hold us, make us feel desired and wanted and loved and received. But I think that we don't give that to ourselves enough. Nine of Pentacles is all about, how can I look at what I've grown within myself? How can I learn how to be proud of myself and actually see that every single day when I wake up? Can I look at myself in the mirror and say, damn, Alex, like, you really did that yesterday. You really were so nice yesterday, when a year ago you would have called that person a bitch, right? It's like you woke up the next morning and you realize that you are doing things differently because you've been consistent with healing, you've been consistent with growing and seeing new perspectives, giving yourself love in the sense of like acknowledgement, right? Seeing how far you've come and how much you've transcended beyond old patterns, old toxicity, and realizing that the more that you live your life in spontaneity, right, and being consistent, this is what it is. Can we be consistent with spontaneity, with detachment in a healthy way, right? We don't want to be detached and numb. We want to be hopeful but unattached, right? We want to be hopeful but willing to see it through. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Spirit wants us to be in alignment with. It's like, I'm just rolling with the punches. I'm going with the flow, and I'm allowing this experience to teach me with whatever I need to know moving forward. Then we have the King of Wands coming in next, which is all about the king of passion, of drive, of being almost like unfazed and willing to sort of set those personal goals that are not limited in any sort of a way. The King of Wands really expresses himself or herself in a way that is very unrestricted. I think a lot of you are in this space of letting go of self-judgment, self-criticism that maybe you've internalized from what your family has said about you, from what society has said about other people. I think a lot of us sometimes get scared to show up in our most authentic self because we're worried about judgment or worried about being seen less than what we crave to be seen as. Does that make sense? Like, I think we worry too much about shit that just doesn't matter. And that's why that Knight of Swords is here. I think it fell off my, yeah, it's right here. That's why the Knight of Swords came in first. It's be mindful of what you're prioritizing. Am I prioritizing boxing myself in because I want people to like me, because I want people to see me as good and valuable and worthy and amazing? Or can I say, fuck all of that? Can I love myself so truly and so deeply and say, regardless of what people think about me, because you have no control over that, Hanged Man. If I can just be consistent with my passion and my drive and what I want, people are going to receive me with the intention, because you can feel that. because it's the truth. Hierophant, it's the truth. Can we act in alignment with our truth? Wheel of Fortune, we've already been here before. This is sort of the pop quiz, right? Now it's like putting it into action. June was mental preparation, that mental quiz of like working through those changes and that rebirth. July is the action around that. What am I going to physically do that is going to solidify these new habits and these new belief systems? Trust yourself. Trust your choices. Don't fucking doubt yourself when you want to do something. You need to like release, me too, embarrassment. Embarrassment is so stupid. Like, I feel like we don't need it, but all of us can be so embarrassed to like dance when there's a song that we love and we're at the club where it's appropriate for you to dance and shake your ass. A lot of us are like so embarrassed to do that because we're afraid of what people are going to think about us and our dance moves, right? It's like, how can we show up and just do what we want to do? You know what I'm saying? That's the action for the month of July that's going to really make or break these sort of new habits that you want to instill. Are you going to instill new habits, or are you going to Knight of Swords looking back? Are you going to keep reverting back to these cyclical patterns that are making you feel like you're drowning in fucking emotions and lack? Again, I'm sorry for my voice. I can hear it. It's annoying me, but it's fine. 10 of Swords. Like I said, June was this sort of mental breakthrough. The sword energy is all about victim mentality, where we are so like taking shit personal because of what people say to us and what they think of us. And I feel like we're like, okay, I'm done. I'm done being a little bitch about what people have to say about me, right? I don't care anymore. I love myself so much that you can say whatever the fuck you want. I've already heard it 10 times, right? 10 of Swords. I've been there, done that. I've heard this thing. I've been called worse, right? People have said worse. People have thought worse. So let me just completely detach myself from the need to be understood and let me move forward and just do whatever I want to do. That's what it's giving. 10 of Swords. We're already, towards the end of June. And I feel like moving forward, Spirit really wants us to start to stand our ground, stand up for yourself, use your voice, Don't be afraid to tell people what you're about. Don't be afraid to share your story. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Yeah, some of you need to share your story, okay? Some of you need to speak your truth and bring that to the light. A lot of us keep ourselves hidden, sun reversed. We keep ourselves hidden, and when we're not willing to share our story or be vulnerable, we're also agreeing to not be authentic, and we're agreeing to not learn and to not grow. We're agreeing to not have abundance. That's what we're agreeing to. So Sun coming in wants you to expose the truth about who you are. It's almost like coming out, coming out of the closet. It feels like it's okay and it's safe for you guys to do that now. This feels very happy. This feels very beautiful. I think also it's like there's a rainbow at the end of the storm as we move into July. This seems like there's a breakthrough here for all of us personally. And I almost feel like I need to talk about the month of May to be significant for some of you. I feel like sometimes Spirit gives me like little things. So I don't know if any of you have lost somebody that has a birthday in the month of May. Or a mother energy, but that feels like I want to just say that and just take it with you however it resonates. But I feel like for a lot of us, we're like learning how to be just like butt ass naked energetically, right? That's an energy to be raw, to be real, to be unfiltered. I almost feel like for some of us too, start it off like this practice of vulnerability with eating. Sorry, someone's calling me, my ass is vibrating. I'm like, what is that? Got a little too excited there. Just kidding. Sorry. So I feel like a lot of us, to practice vulnerability, start with what you're eating. A lot of people find it very uncomfortable to like open your mouth when you're biting a hamburger or a banana or a hot dog or something where you have to open your mouth. Our mouth and our teeth and our jaw hold a lot of embarrassment, a lot of anger, a lot of energy that's very dense. This is why we clench our jaw and our teeth when we are angry, and we don't want to open our mouth when someone pisses us off. And we keep our lips like pressed. So the more you open your mouth, smile, eat your hamburger, like really open your fucking mouth, bitch. Like open it as wide as you can and like really chomp on that shit. That is a practice of vulnerability. It's teaching your body that you are safe to be open, to be expansive, to be received in that truth of like, you're enjoying the shit out of that hamburger, girl. Like really start with your food and enjoy it. I would suggest for some of you tantric eating, which is eating really slow, because food is not just for survival, it's also for grounding, and it can make you feel anchored and safe because it's a safe, right? Food is like a safe space for a lot of people. That's why we eat our feelings when we're sad. So food is a great starter point to embody and embrace more vulnerability and more safety of just being who you are in that physical. Eating is also an action. So if you're wanting to, in your mind, be more vulnerable, right? 10 of Swords, I want to be more vulnerable now, right? I don't want to fucking care. What I can do, Ace of Wands, is the action of eating and opening my mouth and letting myself eat normal in front of a group of people at a restaurant, right? Let it be like that. It can be easy like that, okay? Let's see what else. Then we have, oh my God, the Hierophant again coming out. I see a lot of you in the month of July reversing a lot of those, toxic programming. Hierophant is all about religion too. It's very much like what we devote ourselves to, how you devote yourself to God, how do you devote yourself as a daughter, as a son to your parents, how do you hide yourself because you want to make people comfortable. I think that we're getting really uncomfortable, and it's actually feeling fucking good because we're stepping more into like our flesh. What feels good to my body, and the body is now going to be deciding what choices you make because you're in alignment with the truth and the intelligence and the conscious awareness of the physical body and the driver of like your experience here as a human. It's no longer about what does mom think, what does dad think, what does society think, what does my fucking neighbor think. It's like that is not even a question. Like that is not even in the mindset when we're moving forward into July. And this feels very liberating for me, for you, for everybody. If we can be down, you know what I'm saying? The Hierophant is like, what are you down to do? Like, are you really willing to try and to choose yourself? Because a lot of people, it's weird to say, but a lot of people don't want to choose themselves because they're scared of letting somebody else down. And that means your devotion is not even within yourself. So, oh my God, I swear if it's the Knight of Swords, it's the Page of Swords, a new outlook. A new outlook is here to support you, to protect you. This is the willingness to see things differently, to see yourself differently. Perception starts with you. If I want to change the way that I view a certain religion, if I want to change the way I view a certain thing, love, romance, connection, vulnerability, anything, I have to first change how do I see myself? And how do I see myself in connection to relationships, in connection to sexuality, in connection to religion or expression? How do I see myself in that? And what am I willing to let myself do? How far can I go in my expression before I restrict, right? I think a lot of us really want to say, fuck the restriction. And that feels super, super, super good. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, it's confidence, it's self-assurance, it's like, I've said this before, it's unfuckwithable. Queen of Wands is the Beyonce card. It's all about, you know how like people can spread all these rumors about Beyonce? She literally doesn't care. Like she will not respond to any of that shit. That's like what we're encouraged to be like, is like just not care. Don't give energy to the peasants. I'm just kidding. But really, don't give energy to shit that is not a priority to you. Never make people's opinions a priority, ever, because you're gonna ruin your own life like that. You're gonna hurt your own feelings, and you're gonna block your blessings. Hanged Man coming in again, detach from expectations. So I hope that helped you. I feel like all of that resonated with me a lot. I very much am still in this June energy of like trying to figure out who I am and how I want to show up in the world. But I do feel like I always say on my TikTok lives, I'll say to people, I'm sorry, I curse all the time. Like, I want to stop apologizing for just being who I am and in the ways that I express myself, because I do curse a lot. And I almost said it in the reading, like, I'm sorry, I curse a lot. But I feel like I just want to be more unapologetic. That is very Queen of Wands, where we don't have to apologize for who we are. But also, I do recognize for myself that I curse a lot as a deflection from whenever I do feel too vulnerable. I almost need to make a joke out of it. So I also recognize where I'm sourcing that energy from. So pay attention to when you deflect and how you source energy when you're trying to protect yourself in that space of vulnerability. I think think July is all about vulnerability. July is Cancer season, right? No, wait. Cancer? Okay. And then what else is it? June, July, August, Leo, half Cancer. I don't know, something like that. It just feels like we're moving into our power. So I wish you guys the best this week. Stay true to who you are. Be mindful of what you're letting infiltrate your energy and how you're allowing your energy to be influenced by people, places, things. Protect yourself by staying true. Go back and listen to the last episode on boundaries. This is like the perfect starter to entering into this energy that we're talking about today. So if you haven't watched the last episode, that is like the perfect start. I love you guys. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your week, and talk to me in the comments. Have a good day.